Hello, my little crones, munchkins. And did I say that wrong? Hello, my munchkins, my crones, and my sunflowers. You know what happened? Baby cone not there. She's not to my left. To my left, to my left, she's not there. She'll be here. She's running a little late, you know. She was getting her hair done and it ran a little late. So she couldn't finish it. Well, I couldn't finish it. So I don't know why we started so late. But nevertheless, you know, we're going to talk about a lot of things. But before I go on, how was your week? How? Was it great? Really? That's interesting. Well, I tell you, it's so weird without her there, but I can do this. I can do this. You know, when I first started 2 years ago, I used to do it by myself. And it just used to feel so empty, you know. And then I said, baby, come, but she was so afraid, you know. And finally, she came on, and it's just been a match ever since. I never thought that her and I would get along so great. Now, what else can I talk about while I wait for her? Well, we could talk about what's going on in the news. We could talk about, let's talk about Princess, what's her name, Kate or Catherine. What I feel about that? Well, I heard this woman had a breakdown because allegedly her husband got another woman pregnant, and she said that, and he won a divorce, and he doesn't want her anymore. And she feels as though, allegedly, that this will hurt her. It's humiliating, which it is. And how could you just do this? And let me add on to it. How can you do this? The same thing your father did to your mother, you're doing this to me. How can you do this? How? So anyway, she's leaving. He wants her gone. And for whatever reason, after the surgery, finding out she had cancer, and now this. I'm telling you, with everything in my being, I can be wrong. Kate will be queen. Because I'm telling you, this woman had a breakdown allegedly. This woman had cancer allegedly. Every sign is there to stop Prince Williams, I hope that's his name, to not divorce his wife. Every sign, everything is coming up against his plan not to divorce his wife. So we'll see. You know, there was a lot of people when she came out to speak, but you know, I had that what is it? That obsession that obsessed me. I don't know if it's an obsession, that possession. So that thing possessed me. The thing is, I felt it, like I felt it, but I didn't know it was because, you know, I don't mind easing to the spirit. I channel. I don't mind. I don't mind. What I have to learn to deal with is the out of body part. But I don't mind. I don't mind. And, you know, you might say, well, what is it like? It's like, you know how you could just, you know, like, I don't know if you had this spirit feeling before. You know how you in church, and if you get happy, you don't have to shout and dance, but you know that feeling that just comes over you, like it's such a good feeling, or you might get chills, or you might just start crying, but it's a feeling, but it's not a bad feeling. It's kind of like a feeling like either everything is going to be okay, or I hear you, or I need to let this out of me. And it's like your body is doing it without your participation. That's what that's like. It's like it comes in. However, it's nothing evil can't come near me. It can, but long as it's out for my good, you know. So anyway, so when it came over me, I was just getting ready to say, because I kept feeling a wave, like I had two waves, like, but I was ignoring it because I don't read on her. I was going to take the reading seriously, but I didn't really know what to really say, actually. I was just talking because somebody asked me to read on her. I was taking it to heart, but I didn't really know much of anything. And you know, that's the way things go. When you are not, I was serious, but I wasn't serious because I didn't know. You know, I was just as blind, just like I'm saying, I hope his name is Williams. But anyway, But just when it's like that, that's when things happen. So anyway, when it came over me, to be honest with you, I felt a sense of dread. I felt like death. I felt, I can't even talk about it right now. See? Mm, mm, mm. Mm. I felt like death. I felt sick and nauseous. This is what I'm seeing in my head. I felt sick and nauseous. And nauseous, and it was like I couldn't eat, and it was like, help me, like in a darkened place, because it was dark, and I couldn't understand why it was dark. Like I could see, but I could feel. I'm one of those that feel a thing. Some I see, but I feel more than what I see. I can see, but sometimes what I see, I can't make out what I'm looking at. I don't have the vocabulary to express what I see. So when it comes over me like that, I'm not afraid, because it's a welcome, because I felt like it was coming. But I didn't know if it was. It was weird. It never happened like that before. But the second time, I was just going to say, baby, come on, I just feel. And before I could get it out of my mouth, it hit me. And I was in the sunken place. I was in this dark place. It was like I couldn't get out. And every time I tried to get out, it felt like it would suck me back down again. That's how I felt. And I felt death. And I don't know if this woman, I don't know. I don't know anything about her, but I felt like she was mentally ill, that she was in a sunken, darkened place. I didn't say anything. That thing rattled me so badly. But I didn't want to take it off, because this is what I do. When I did Holly Witches, oh my God. Do you know I went through that thing and cut that stuff up so badly? If I know what I know today, I would have left it alone. I just wanted to be perfect. I wanted to not look bad, So when these things, I didn't want to hear the scrutiny. Oh, she's fake. She's not real. Oh, I wish I can say it's not real, but it's real. And it could be real for you if you believe. For you who believe in Jesus or Muhammad or anybody who believes in these teachings. Jesus said so himself. He says, when I go to these cities, I could do very little, because they don't believe. You see the stars, but you was told to be afraid of them. You see the planets, you see the signs, but you was told to be afraid of it. So if anybody goes up in it, because that's your healing, you have to go through the darkness. And it can be very unpleasant. That was an unpleasant experience. But now I understand. And I understand why they told me to wait. I didn't understand that. I was like, why I have to wait and say nothing? And I understand that now. I don't know if Kate is trying to fight for her life. I don't know if if she wants to delete herself. All I know is that's a lot. That's a lot. Your husband want to leave you, allegedly got another woman pregnant. She wants to keep the baby, allegedly. You had surgery, and so when you went in for surgery to help you, they found that you had cancer. That's what happened to my mother, but they removed my mother. My mother had something wrong with her breast. They went in to do one thing, and when they went in, they realized my mother said the doctor thought she was fine. But my mother my mother's very spiritual. So this is where I get my spiritual energy from. I come from a line of prophets. I am not the only one. So anyway, or seers, you understand? So anyway, she said she felt something was wrong. So she insisted. And when the doctor did go in to do it, again, he realized if he hadn't removed, he would have never seen it and my mother would have died. So it can happen because it happened to my mom. So I don't know what it's like to go through this. And I don't even want to know. I just know that woman is mentally sick. This woman is sick. This woman, and it's no way he gonna leave her. He can cheat. It would be Kate, but I'm telling you, and I couldn't be wrong. I see Kate on that throne. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but if he leave her in this condition, the world would be appalled. They would have no respect for the kingdom. The woman who he's with, you think that they treated what you call his child bad, being a black baby. I can't think of her name right now. You think that was bad? What do you think about this one? This illegitimate child, this bastard. If the story is true, what do you think they're going to think about that? And you hate Kate, who worked so hard, and now you just going to do the same thing your daddy did to your mama, which caused a big ruckus, and now your mama dead. Had your daddy would have been faithful to your mama the whole time, none of this would have happened. She wouldn't have been in the car. None of this wouldn't have happened. But you know, a lot of people think that what happened to Diana was a setup. I'm just saying. That's word in the street. So when I think about Princess Kate or Catherine, my heart aches for her. And I feel as though, give her time. That's what it was saying. I need time. Remember? Look back at it. Time. Need time. So I'm believing, because one of the things that I did see in that vision, I did see her fighting for her children. And if there's anything that can bring her, because this is a lot. I think the cancer, your husband, that's a lot. But because I believe that these all are life lessons, and I believe she's at a place, do you want to sink or swim? Do you want that throne? Fight for it. It's yours. And I don't know their laws, but the one thing I do know in this country, no, if your husband could say, or your wife could say, I want a divorce, you will never have to divorce her. You could say no. Marry for life, no. And she will never be able to marry again. Why? And she would be an adulterer. Any man or any woman that sleep with him or her, would be an adulterer. He doesn't have to do it, no matter what anybody said. And I didn't know that, but that's what a lawyer said to me. I was like, can't you make him divorce me? He was like, no. I mean, like, I could stay hostage. Yes. He said the only way, if we go looking for him and he doesn't respond, like we don't respond, he could respond and say no. I used to say, is it like 6 months? If they don't want a divorce, you're stuck. You got to figure it out. How you going to get that person to divorce you? But I didn't have a problem. He was still in California. You know, there was a time that I lived in the West Coast. I think I shared that with you. I mean, I've lived a lot of places, but anyway, getting back to Lady Diane, I mean, not Lady Diane, getting back to Kate, my heart bleeds, and I want to give her the time that she needs to heal. I really, really do. So That's all I got to say about that. I hope that that was interesting. I hope, I cleared some things up about that day when I had that. Oh, but if it happened again, I'm in it. And that you would get it would be a privilege for me to see something like that on TV. I mean, to see something like that and it was authentic. Oh my God. And if you saw that, that means it was meant for you to see it for whatever reason. Maybe to help you with your faith, maybe to show you that things are bigger than this world, that the whole world above, the whole universe, as big as it is, it's beyond comprehension. This is just a spot in the universe. And everything around us, above us, around us, and below us is nothing but life. We are not the only living beings. And they communicate with us, and we communicate with them. I hope you could receive that, accept that. I'm starting to believe it's a fool that says to themselves that there is nothing greater than me. In other words, nothing is greater than man. There's nothing out there. I pity the fool who says that, because you're going to have to face death. Then it'll be real. One of the things thinking about death, I know it's taking me way off of the course, but all I have right now is baby Chrome walking through this door because I have no idea what time it is. I don't have my phone. I have nothing. So I'm trusting baby Chrome. So I'm just going to give Gab about the things I like to talk about until we can. But I did talk about Kate, and she has my heart. I don't want to start a new conversation. So I'll just talk about these things until baby Chrome comes. So what else can I talk about? I was getting ready to say something, but it slipped my mind. So what else can I talk about? I've been studying the Kabbalah, and I have been called to the Kabbalah when I lived in Las Vegas. And the thing is how it happened for me. When I was like 21 years old, I died. Not died like that. I can't prove it. But I was asleep in my sofa. And there was a guy that I had, because my lights were out at the time. I was young. My lights were out. And he was staying at my house until I got my lights. So not staying there, but he was spending a night at my house. And he stayed on the sofa. So this particular night, hey, baby Crow.
Hello.
There she is.
Yes. Thank you. Hello.
I have no time. I didn't know no sense. Let me look at you. You look so gorgeous. I had no sense of time.
Really?
So, yeah, what time? Are we getting ready to go live? We got a few minutes.
We still got a few more minutes.
Okay, so let me finish the story. Let me make it swift. So anyway, this is how I got. This is years ago. This is even before I was young. I was 21 years old. And if you look at 21, because we're into numerology, yes. It is the number what?
3.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit, yes. Mother, Father, Child, whatever way you want to, groups of 3. So anyway, moon, stars, and sun, groups of 3s. Okay. So anyway, I'm laying on the sofa, and as I'm laying on the sofa, I would apparently was asleep. But then there was a voice that called me by my name, said Monica. So when I got up and I looked around, and I realized I was hovering over my body. And I said, so I panicked, I was like, oh my God, I died. I don't know how I died, but I died. I looked down at my body. It was on the sofa, sleep. I turned and I saw a man, a black man in a white linen suit. And he said, don't be afraid. When he said, don't be afraid, all my fear vanished. All my fear it just went away from me. And I said, who are you? And he says, I'll tell you that I'm your guardian angel. In other words, to make you not feel, you already feeling a lot of trepidation. I'm paraphrasing because I'm older. So you won't feel a lot of trepidation. I want you to know I'm just here. I'll say I'm your guardian angel. At this time, I only knew Jesus. I only knew Jesus. I didn't know Jesus as a savior. All I knew was my mother taught me this prayer. And that was, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Bless this day. That's all I knew. At 21 years old, that's all I knew of Jesus. There was no reading the Bible or any comprehension. So I certainly didn't know anything about Judaism. So anyway, he says, and I remember talking to him. It seemed like it was for hours, but when I woke up, it was like maybe not even 5 minutes. I turned to him and I said, what is your name? I'm like, what is, because I'm not afraid. He's answering all my questions. If I think a thing, the answer was there. I just fell in love with him. And I said, what is your name? I don't ever want to forget your name. He said, my name is Uriel. I said, Uriel? And he said, Uriel. And I said, who are you? He said, I'm an angel. Not like to saying that as to say, that's what you comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it. In other words, I'm not an angel. This is how I took it. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm saying he was a being.
Yes.
Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm.
But he said, so it wouldn't raffle me. I'll say, I'm an angel. I'm your angel. This is what he said. And he says, so I come to show you something. So before I know it, it was like Ebenezer Scrooge. We was down the steps on the thing. And when I got to my porch, because I was on a 2-bedroom apartment, like a bedroom upstairs, I lived upstairs, downstairs. And I got through the door. And when I came out on the door, there was the Grim Reaper. I never knew what a Grim Reaper was until years later, but he was dressed in all black, just black, like on the coat, hovering with a sickle in his hand. I never seen anything like this. I don't know what that is. So I said to him, what is that? It was creepy. And I was like, what is that? He said, don't worry, that has no power over you. So we goes down to the car. We get into the car and he says, not in the car, but we get to the car. And he says, look through this glass. Like, you know how cars have glass windows on it, those mirrors on the side.
Yes.
And it was like a big car, but for whatever reason, the mirror was big. And he says, look at it. And I said, I can't look at it. He says, go and look in the mirror, look in it. And I had a struggle with mirrors when I was a kid, but that's another story. So he says, look in the mirror. And I said, I tried, but I said, I can't look in the mirror. I can't. He said, try. And I just couldn't. And he said, and so next thing I know, we back in the place. I said, I'm sorry. He said, that's okay. You know, he was very gentle. He said, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm paraphrasing because I don't know the words, but I'm telling you the sentiment. Don't worry. It's okay. And it was a sense like just a test.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a test, like just a test. And he said to me, I gotta go. And I was like, please don't leave me. Please take me with you. Please, I don't want to go back. Please. I was begging. And I was like when Jacob said that he was holding on to the angel, I was holding on to him in my mind. In my soul, don't leave me here. Please take me with you. I was in bliss. Please, I said. And he jerked from me and said, I gotta go. When he did that, I rose up and went, I looked around. I ran in. I found a clock. I said, Barry, what time is it? He said, it's 12 o'clock. I said, I was visited by an angel. He was very spiritual. No sex. He was just a friend caring about me, being in a dark apartment. And he was my friend. And he was older than me, but he was a friend. And he said, tell me about it. Tell me. I wish I would have told him. But I said, no. I got to run down to my mother. I got to tell my mother because my mother was very spiritual. I ran down to my house. I told my mother it was like 3 blocks. I ran down and told her the dream. I told her everything about it. And it was fascinating because I had all the details. But the funniest thing is, I didn't know the Bible, I didn't know the word, right? And every time I looked for the name Oriel or Uriel, it was Ariel as a girl. And I said, he said his name wasn't Ariel. He said his name was Uriel. When I got into something, I don't know, somebody was into Kabbalah. And I was looking at it. This just recently happened. And said to this, she says, Uriel. When I heard it, I turned my head. This recently happened a few weeks ago. I turned all these years.
Yes.
I turned my head around. She said, Uriel to my left, I think she said, I'm done. So then I'm like, okay, I really got to get into Kabbalah now. Because I always been trying to start. I was called to it. And now that's what I'm saying. It makes sense. So that's just one of my little stories that happened to me. I died. And if you ask me, how do I know? Because I suffer with asthma, not as bad. Like I don't suffer with it like near no one else. However, I've had asthma attacks where I literally stop breathing if I smell something that I'm highly allergic to. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those people that are highly allergic. And for whatever reason, it affects me with asthma. And not that I suffer with it. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do understand.
But if you put something mold or some kind of tree, or something that is, or put me around grass and I'm not protected because I get shots in both arms. So if I didn't have that, I know I wouldn't be alive today.
Yes, I want to say something.
I know it's time. You can turn this on.
Oh, no, not that.
Oh, okay.
I just want to chime in that I do notice a trend that it seems like people that are highly sensitive to their environments are usually people that are more intuitive and spiritual because they are more sensitive to their surroundings, what's around them, the kind of energies around them, things that affect their body, how their body reacts and how their body works. So therefore, when something goes wrong, therefore you are more in tune to like other people around you. Be like, man, this stuff is making me feel sick. And somebody else could be like, really, is that feeling? I didn't know that.
Right. And you know, I am, it's certain things I'm allergic. So I've been on shots for a very long time and they have saved my life. And I believe that night, I believe I had an asthma attack because it was so hot. I didn't have an air conditioner or anything or a window fan. It was so hot. I remember just laying on the sofa, just saying, it's so I can breathe. I was just saying to him, I can't breathe. And he was like, open up the windows, just a hot summer day. It's a hot summer night. He says, open up the window. And he had the candle burning. I had a little candle burning. And he's just like, and he was on the bedroom. I was on the sofa, just hot. And drifted off to sleep. And that's what happened to me. I truly believe I had an asthma attack because I suffer with asthma. And I had not often, a frightening feeling is when you just sitting down and all of a sudden you just can't breathe.
Yeah, that does sound frightening.
And it's like your head go, you could feel yourself going out like that. I've had that, those sudden asthma attacks. And I truly believe that night, So anyway, with all of this, I've been trying to write a book, right? And what the book was called was Wisdom's Daughter.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I didn't know, this, Uriel is wisdom.
Yes.
So I'm on the right path. I understand it more and more. And I'm glad that I got a chance to share that with you. So now enough of me. I give Gab. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of segment about a little bit of me and understand where all these spiritual things come up, because truly I'm spiritual through and through,
Yeah.
But I do love the news. I like the energy of it. I would really like for to read on people. I wish people would call me up and say, read on me. Because yes. I one of the things that I've learned, I did a reading on someone a few months, a year ago, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention the person. And this person asked me, is my niece died. I read the cards. I didn't see anything. But because I don't like to be the bearer of that, who want to say that?
Mhm.
Because the truth is, the vanity is, I didn't want to say it and be wrong. I didn't want to say I didn't see anything. Because I had did a reading on someone when I lived in Las Vegas. And I told them I didn't see anything. And she said, why don't you see anything? I says, I don't know. I just don't see. It's just black. So she asked me a question. And the question is, do you see me pregnant? And I said to her, this is many years ago. And I said, I read her cards. I said, no, I just see you black. But it was more on intuitiveness versus knowing what I'm doing, reading cards. And I said, no, I don't see anything. And she said, what do you mean? I said, I only see black. So I was taking a tarot class. And so when I went to school, when it was time for me to go back to my class, I went to my teacher. I said, I did a reading on something and something came over me. She wanted to know, was she pregnant? And I told her I didn't see anything. I just saw black. And she said, the baby had died. When she said that, I shook it, right? So when this woman said to me a year or so ago, I saw nothing, but I couldn't say it.
Mhm.
I couldn't admit it. I couldn't say it. I didn't want to be wrong. I can't say it. So, and I said, the baby's going to be okay. That thing haunted me so bad. Am I right?
That is true.
I beat myself up and I waited. I waited. I said, I know that baby is not alive. Did I not? And I whipped myself and I said, baby, I can't take it no more. Look it up and find out what happened to the baby. This is, I think, after I called the woman. I didn't call her, but I texted her and apologized. And I said, I think the baby is gone. When I got off the phone, I didn't even want to know. I said, baby, come look it up. And what did she tell me?
Yes, that the baby sadly did pass away.
I was so disturbed. So this is real for me. So I study cards. Do you understand? This is not like I study them. I've been studying them for a very long time. I've been to school for it.
Yes, she has.
Isn't
that impressive?
Right. So this is like just a little bit nugget of me. So baby Chrome.
Yes.
So when do we go live?
Yes, it is currently 4:32. So therefore, if you guys would like, the link is running across the screen if you would like to join our Discord, or if you are on a phone or computer, you can go into the link into the description underneath this video, and you will find the link to our Discord as well. And then from there, you can just join the waiting room and be waited upon to be called in for the join.
And you can, oh, sorry, baby, can you finish?
Yes, now.
And you can ask me, you can even ask me to read for you. You can ask anything. You can ask about the news. You can ask about anything. But in the meantime, in between time, are we live?
Yes, we are.
We're live. Baby, I carried that the best way I could. I don't know how well I did, but I know I gave them me. Yes. Go ahead, baby.
Yes, we had two people make a comment.
What was it?
Nobody has called in yet, but somebody named Sunny said that they finally got to catch us live, and they hope that we have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Well, we hope that it's worth it. Maybe one day you'll call in. I'm so glad. I'm always grateful that somebody calls in, somebody, anybody. But you see, baby calling now, we're gonna be twinning.
Yes.
Twinning.
Somebody also asked, their name is Bellini Martini.
If she said it wrong, she apologized.
Yes, they said that they are a new subscriber.
Thank you. Woo, woo, woo,
yes.
woo.
And they were wondering if we were mother or daughter or friends.
That's my daughter. 100%. My daughter.
Yes.
100% pure love.
Yes, but we are only friends as well.
We are the best of friends. As a matter of fact, I don't have any friends. That's it. I guess because we moved around so much. And you know what they say, a rolling stone gathers no moss. So I moved around. And when I came back to Maryland, the friends that I had, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, I
The way
understand.
that they treated me when I was younger, I can't tolerate it anymore.
Yes, you
Because
have
I am
grown.
somebody.
Yes.
And when I was younger, I was so broken, and I'll tell you about it. But when I was younger, I would just do anything to have a friend. I just be quiet. It ain't in my nature to be quiet. But I would just be quiet and just agree, just so I could be your friend. Now, no. When you grow up, life teaches you.
Isn't that the truth?
You still learning.
I am still learning, but it is amazing how life teaches you lessons in parts of your life that needs more attention.
Yes. So what else we're gonna talk about? So
yes, I'm cute. You know what? I will find back out when I watched 3 Live what I missed for 18 minutes.
It seems like I was talking for an hour.
Oh wow.
But the reason why, because it's hard for me to give up myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard. I mean, I said my name, and it's very hard for me. So it was hard for me to show my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be incognito. Huh?
Said it took you 2 years to get here.
It took me 2 years to get here. 2. So I'm glad that if I'm not like all these big numbers, I'm glad. I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I would have been a nervous wreck. But I'm growing into who I am today. And this took time. It takes time. I could see how many people get on here and they blow up and they fall apart.
Yeah.
You got to adjust to it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to adjust to this. Because when you turn on that camera, you already know there could be 1,000, 2,000. And look at people got millions of people watching them. Woo, it's pressure.
Yes. Someone named Miss Momo says, "Oh my God, you two are like me and my daughter."
That's wonderful.
Yes, I just love your guys' energy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. That's because we both are Sagittarius.
Yes, that is true. Great minds think alike.
She's on the 1st, I'm on the 11th.
Yes, twinning
Twinning
through and through.
We like a lot of the same things. We are a lot alike. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy though, isn't it?
You could honestly be like
it's wild, sister. Right? We are so alike. But when she was little, she was trying. She was trying me, try me. Oh, can I tell the story when you was little?
Which one?
The vomit story. No, don't tell it. Don't.
Okay, sure.
No, if you're gonna be embarrassed, I won't tell.
No, it's okay.
When she was a little girl, she was so spoiled. So if we was in a restaurant or store, wherever, when she didn't get her way, she'll go. I'd be like, So she would literally vomit. Yes. So everybody, and it could be in a restaurant. It could be. She just go hold it over me and she can make herself vomit. Now she's about 2-3 years old, so this ain't no little cookie boo. You understand? And people are listening. And so this particular day, well, she would do it at home. I would just be so frantic. I would want her to stop. So this was going on for, I don't know. She was holding me hostage with the vomit thing. And this particular day, I don't know, she was 3 years old. You might say I was mean. I could have been. But she did that thing because I told her to do something just spoiled. I love them like that, but not the vomiting kind. So I told her to do something and she started with that. I said, you do it. You're going to clean it up. She was a little girl, little. And I gave her the evil eye and she went, and I said, do it. And she went, yeah. I was like, sit in it. I let her stay there. That's what broke you out of that. Is it stay there. I mean, it wasn't long. I couldn't stand the sight. I mean, it was, So when I gave her the paper towels, that was the gross, seeing her trying to clean it up. Do you know she never did that again? I mean, it was terrible. She did it in front of her father. Her father would pick her up, take her out. It was horrible. It was horrible. She was like that. That's how. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Is that an okay story to tell? Just talking about chit chat. Anybody say anything? Because if so, we can go on to the next subject.
No, not yet. Have you got to cover any news yet?
Yes. I've already did, Kate. I did Kate with my vision, and I was more clear and more precise about what I seen and how I know that what happened to Kate. I truly believe Kate is in a sunken place. I truly believe that the pressure and the cancer and her husband infidelities and allegedly this baby, I think that would drive Kate into a nervous breakdown. And the reason why I say that that's a lot for anybody to have to deal with, especially when you love a man. When you love a man and you're losing your love, and on the worst time, you find out you got some kind of lower level cancer down in your lower regions.
Yes.
Now you're going to leave me? I don't know what kind of cancer she has. I mean, there are things I want to say, but I'm going to just keep to myself. But the thing is, and this is what we're dealing with. How do you hold it together?
I don't know how.
When you got boom, you're going for one thing, two things, boom. And allegedly a baby. I hope that baby thing ain't true.
Yes,
I hope it's not true. I hope that it's not true at all. So I talked about that. But now you and I didn't talk about the other one, and we're going to talk about P. Diddy. Let's get started. You started.
Well, first off, Miss Momo has said, remember, she said that me and my daughter are both Aquariuses.
Oh!
Yes, one born on the 27th, one born on the 28th.
Oh!
Yes, I'm the wild one and she's the calm one.
I'm the wild one and she's the calm one. Yeah, oh my God. I just think it's a blessing. I think it's a blessing when you have someone in your life that you twin with, literally. Yes. I know that my daughter and I, and your daughter, you may not believe in these things, but I truly speak a truth. We shall never die. We evolve. We get another body or we go to a higher plane. I know, and without assurance, without anything, without wavering in doubt, I know that I know her from a previous life. I don't know if she was my mom. I don't know if she was my best friend. I don't know if she was my husband or my boyfriend. I don't know, but I know that she is a kindred spirit. And I know that she is my twin flame. And I know that when I found in her, I find my peace. She gives me peace. She gets me. Why? Because she doesn't give me a lot of lip. I can't stand lippy people, people, because I'm lippy. So people that's always got to talk. It's not even about having the last word. You're just downright argumentative. And yes. I don't like it because I can be argumentative and I don't want to be. Mm-hmm. But I'm only going to be argumentative because I'm not going to let you say what you want to say and you're dead wrong. If anything drives me crazy, is a lie. Is a lie. Don't look me in my face and lie to me because that's what I lived, a life of lies.
Yes. I bet. Okay. Well, did you want to, before talking about Diddy, did you want to briefly talk about how Beyonce had released her album?
Go ahead. You can talk about that. I really don't, but go ahead. You can.
Okay. Yes. Well, recently, Lady Crone and I was out doing some festivities yesterday. And
we was out twinning.
Yes. And it was the 29th yesterday. It was a Friday. Yep. And Beyonce had released part 2.
Today is the 30th.
Yes, it is. Oh, also, yesterday was Good Friday. Tomorrow is Easter. Oh. And also, this is also the very end of March. This is like the closest we've ever done a video at the end of the month, literally. But
let me say this. Happy Easter to all of you, but I more study on more of a Jewish. I'm more of the Jewish witness of it. I used to be a Messianic Jew. That's what I was. I used to was a Christian, then I turned to a Messianic Jew. But before I was a Messianic Jew, I was a Seventh-day Adventist. I used to love them. Oh, I love being a Seventh-day Adventist because they really taught me how to eat and how to go vegan. It didn't work for me. It wasn't right for me. I didn't need it. I was way small at the time, so it wasn't work for me. But it taught me a lot of things. I liked that Seventh-day Adventist, but then I left Seventh-day Adventist, and that's when I was called. This blue book kept coming to me. I would just see this blue book, and that was the Jewish Bible. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the Messianic Bible. It came to me in a vision. I couldn't see the name, but I knew what it looked like when I seen it. And finally, I went to some place and somebody had it. I said, "Oh my God, these are mystical things." And when you've had so many of them all of your life, it sent me in a spiral to search.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking ever since I've been 21 years old. I have been looking for the answers. Looking.
Yes.
Even Uriel, thinking that ain't even, after a while, things begin to become unreal. Here's another story. Once I was here. I was looking at TV. And the TV spoke to me. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. TV said, "You took some pictures the other day." They said, "I'm talking," because I was looking at the tarot reading station.
Mm-hmm.
This woman said, an older white woman. I never been able to find her again.
That's the crazy part.
She said, she says, "You took some pictures the other day." And I was like, ignoring her, but I was like, "Yeah, I did." She says, "Go and look at your pictures." I know she's talking to me now.
Yeah.
So she said, "Go and look at your pictures." And I'm like, because I'll take pictures and don't look at them.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, "Go and look at your pictures." So I go listening because I feel she's scaring me. She's freaking me out. I feel like she's directly talking to me.
Yeah,
so I
creepy.
go on the pictures and I see a flying saucer, a spaceship. It goes. And it had that. I threw my phone, and the lady wasn't on my TV. It was like, I ran. Hey, it freaked me out. And ever since then, I'm mindful going out in my backyard.
Yes, we do actually have a video on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, showing off those videos.
It's truth.
Yes, that is honestly true. I wish I could find that video. Oh my God, it was so long ago that we did that video.
That was years ago. This really happened to me. Mm-hmm.
But if I can find it, I will make sure to put it at the description of this video or make a post about this after this live.
I'll
search for you.
So I'm not in my business, and things happen to me all the time. In my bedroom, there was a sound in a corner. Am I lying?
No.
It would go. You couldn't hear it outside.
No.
Even if the speaker was on, you couldn't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear it. You could only hear it if you were in my room in the corner. What was that? And then it just went away.
Yes.
Yeah. So, babe, what we going to do if the camera goes out?
Luckily enough, I do know at least we can get 20 more minutes with the camera.
Okay. Well, we can go 20 minutes.
Yes, we can. Somebody did actually want me to find the title of this video of us showing off pictures of our backyard.
And listen, I took the video and this voice said, "Look closer." So I kept going deeper and deeper, looking at the video to see what I see. And I saw feet dragging.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings being dragged in this. I saw it on my video.
Yes. Now, the title of this video that this person wanted to know about.
This is real.
Yes, it is called, we titled it A Special Video of the Unseen World.
And this is what drags me in it. It's like, and that's here where I live. And this is a hot spot here. Oh my God. It's not, my house is not haunted at all, but I think it's enchanted.
Yes, I definitely believe it's enchanted.
I think it's enchanted. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah,
Crone.
Baby Crone even wants to share one of her stories.
Oh, please, baby.
Yes.
Crone.
It's somebody.
We ain't talk about nothing. We're just talking. I
We
hope
talked about ourselves today.
Uh-huh.
So she got it all said. I was brought up in Christianity. My mom and the
So was I.
Torah, Judaism.
And in Judaism, what it taught me the Torah. It taught me to understand the Torah. It helped me to understand Noah. It helped me to understand books like that they know that these things are stories. They're not real. They're allegories. So when they help me to understand, I learned so many stories with them, what they mean, because they have classes.
Mm-hmm.
So they teach Torah. So they always have it, because you can go get a class and they could be teaching on what is the name, Jonah and the whale, and where you read and y'all have commentary and they talk. And they, until you finish the book, I've been Jonah, I've done Job. That was a good one. Job was good. You do stories and they break the stories down. And when you go to synagogue, either Friday night or Saturday, either one, depending on how deep you are in it. And I was more of a Reformed Jew. So they have different kind of places to worship, just like Christians do. So there's so many sects out there. So Reformed Jew, but I don't think that a Reformed Jew was more what I would want. So that's when I knew that I needed to go more to a Messianic Jew. And even now, if I were to go back, what would I go back? I don't know if I would go back, because I don't know if this makes sense. And I know I might get a lot of flack for this. I think I've outgrown it. I don't need it. I hope that doesn't offend anyone.
No, I know.
I feel like I've learned all I can learn from it. I've given all I can give. I've had that all my life. And I've had enough of it. It's nothing I want to know about it, unless all I want to know now is how to use it. Mm-hmm. I got all this knowledge. How do I make this Bible work? How do I make this Bible talk? How do I know it's spiritual. I know it's a book of spells and magic. That's why it tells you in the beginning. But don't you do it. Who would say such a foolish thing? Yes. Don't trust them stars. But you're born under one. Don't trust it. That's only to keep you in darkness. Yeah. But you can't say nothing. So let me go on for my story. So anyway, that's how I eventually evolved. So when I went to the Messianic church, I did like that. But then I moved around. So then I came back home to Maryland. And I've been here now going on 7 years. Yes. I'm about to move again. But I think my next move hopefully will be my last. It would just be predicated to Baby Crone at this point. Yes. Because I want to leave her a home paid for.
Thank you.
I don't believe in having that kind of a debt, but I just want to leave her. She doesn't want this one. She says it's too big. She is right. It is big. I don't want it either. So I want it, but I would never live in here by myself.
Yes.
It's enchanted. What do I mean? It's not it's not spooky. Because believe it or not, the people who I bought the house from was devout Jews.
Yes.
I didn't even know that because I was living in another state. And our closing happened over we did a closing over, I was home and I never met them. So we just did a closing. We didn't go to the office. It was just a closing at home. But I did finally get a chance to meet them. And when I did, I think we did go for, I don't remember what it was, but I know we did the closing at home. I don't know at all the ins and outs. It's been a while. But when I met them, that's when I found out they were Jews. I have a very kindred spirit with Jewish people, but I have a bittersweet relationship with them as well. But they were Jews. And recently, one of their sons came, knocked on our door out of the clear blue skies and just wanted to know, can they come in and see the house again?
They were visiting to see the Ravens game that Taylor Swift was at.
Yes, they did. They came down from New York.
Yes,
and they visit. And I was so appreciative of that. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what else? So you ready to talk? I don't know what we
Yes.
get into. We could talk a little bit
Yeah, we could
about,
talk.
well, you go ahead. What do you think about, what's his name? See, I don't want to get anything heavy and the
Okay.
camera go off. If the
Okay.
camera go off, we're so sorry. We
Yes.
just thank you in advance. We love you. We
Yes.
appreciate you. We're going live, and I'm going to get these cameras, but I need $5,000 to get a nice camera,
Yeah.
or $4,000, $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta save 1,000,000 years to get it. So, but I will. So, what we're gonna talk about?
Baby Crow wanted to share one of her stories.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was because speaking of this corner of the room that you were talking about, that it's enchanted, you hear that won't sound. I mean, I've heard it too. And weirdly enough, we would go outside.
I had people come
Never
and check
hearing
on it. Right.
It's crazy. It's only in that one spot.
Loud.
Yes. And Baby Crone used to edit in that corner. And sometimes while it was
It's true.
very late at night, because editing used to take so long back then, how we have evolved. But Baby Crone would be tired, and I had fell asleep this one night. And somehow when you go to sleep, you have to wonder, where do you go for those quite amount of minutes or hours?
You're in different dimensions. You're
Yes.
traveling. You live in another life. That's
Mhm.
what death like. We die every night when we go to sleep and we rise. Not physically die, but mentally, spiritually. Go ahead, baby.
Yes. And Baby Crone, I guess I woke up. I guess my body had woke up too quickly before my conscious could get back into my body,
Mm-hmm.
because I woke up, and then in my mind, I literally see myself spiraling down. Like if you've ever been in at a water park and you like go down one of those water slides, that's what it felt like I was going through. Except there was no water. It was so colorful.
You was going through a vortex.
Yes, it was like a pixelated rainbow.
Mm.
And somehow
Ooh.
I was like swirling down. It was so fast.
But
It
you
felt
know
like
what?
I
Let
was
me
speeding.
just go into that. But that's the way, just like your DNA. That's how you know that's real, because that's the spiraling motion. You was going through a different vortex. Go ahead, because that is the exact spiraling. Go ahead.
Yep. And then I just like woke up. I literally felt myself go.
You just bounced back.
Yes, I just bounced back in. I was just like, oh my God.
So you know that you have the gift of dreams.
Yes, I do.
You don't like them.
No, but that is true.
You know, she wakes up many a time perplexed by her dreams. Tell them one. Tell them about the one that you had in that same corner about the alien.
Oh, yes. Funnily enough, in that same corner, I had a dream about, you know what? It's a reoccurring dream. I think it's something about this house that I always.
It's enchanted. And I say that out of love. The only reason why Baby Crone don't want to live here. That's it. Go ahead.
Yes. And for some reason, whenever I like dream about like this house and like some like foreign outside intruder, I always feel like nervous, because we do have quite a bit of windows, in my opinion. That's also another reason I'm a little bit.
And I love windows everywhere. Windows, let the light in.
Yeah.
But you're right. I do understand that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But for some reason, this was an alien invasion.
No, tell them how the beginning stuff start.
Okay, so in the beginning, I see an alien ship out this corner, because there's a window in that seat in that part of the room
that I put there, that I had them put in 2 windows in the master bedroom.
Yes, so I was sitting in the chair looking out the window. I'm not sure if I was talking to Lady Crone or not, but all I see is this cylinder shape, like elongated oval cylinder shape, like almond, but not, descend down onto the ground. It was like a greenish metallic kind of grayish look. And I didn't know what it was. Mentally I didn't know what it was, but like intuitively I just like knew for some reason that the aliens had descended upon us. And I felt like they were communicating to me, because they were telling me that they were here to get rid of like the bad people, or like the negative people off of this earth. And I'm starting to panic, because I'm just like, why am I hearing this? Who are the negative people? What are you guys? What's going to happen? I can't even see them. So I'm just like, how am I hearing this? Or like, how do I even know this is going on right now? I haven't even seen anything except a ship descend from the sky. And already I know all of this and I'm like panicking and it's basically the end of the world in my dream, or at least it felt like it.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes.
that's what we go through.
Yes, that's what we go through over here in this house.
But that's the Sagittarius. Now me, I feel things. It ain't nothing for me to feel a spirit. I could just be outside. I'm very careful though. But I feel as though, this is what I feel. I feel as though angels and demons, devils and angels, they're all here to help us in some bizarre way. Now, I'm not talking about hauntings.
Mhm.
I don't know. When
Now,
I was,
I do have a question.
No,
I
go
do
ahead.
hate to cut.
No, go
But
ahead.
a subscriber had a question saying, I am also a reader of tarot, and when I read, my nose itches. I researched this and I can't find
Communication.
anything.
No, you're being communicated. That is the way that your intuitive is working. There is energy right there that's letting you know you are tapping in. You are tapping into something that's real. So when that come in, and that happened to me, and I call that person itchy.
Yes, we do.
I call her itchy. When she comes in, let me tell you about itchy. This is what I get. When I get itchy, like, you know how you just itch all over? Like, you know how you just, well, I don't know, but I know itchy. And who was itchy? She told me that she was a slave. So I know that my mother's side is slavery. I know nothing about my dad, but I do know that my lineage came over on the last boat of slavery. It was the very last boat. God made it at the end. So my ancestors. And so she said that she was a slave, and she said that she was brutally raped, and that she feel if she don't take a shower, he won't touch her. So she smells. And because she smell, she itch. And she say they call her itchy because she itch all the time. And that was her story. I mean, what she told me, I was telling baby grown, you know. So I understand that. So trust that. She said itch. That's what she see. Look. See?
Mm-hmm.
That was a sign that let me know. See, my face is tingling. She let me know. You see my shoulder, see? She let me know I feel her. So she's letting me know.
Yes. I hope you really I hope you guys enjoyed our day of talking about and getting to know the Crones a little bit more.
That's why we call ourselves the Crones.
Yes.
Because we're spiritual by nature.
Yes.
You know, and if it was up to me, I would talk about spiritual things all the time, you know, but but what I want to do, I'm going to do it. My reading is going to go more on a spiritual level anyway, but it's always spiritual, but it's spiritual and it's not spiritual. But when I'm finished with what I'm doing, it's going to be more of a Kabbalah. So it's going to be a spiritual read, but I got a ways to go with it. But I'm getting a fuller understanding of what I'm doing. And as a matter of fact, I was just called to it when I told you about Uriel.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, this is because I always dabble, but I couldn't get it. It was hard. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not putting myself, I don't understand these. I can't even say the name, can't speak Hebrew. I was just frustrated. And this particular day, when I found out of all these years, ever since I was 3 years old, and that woman said the name, I said, you got to talk to me, Spirit. Uriel. I said, you got to talk to me. And I said, you want me to learn Kabbalah, then you better put it in me because I can't. And all of a sudden, that thing just came to light. Mm-hmm. Am I lying?
Nope. I mean, the same thing happened with you when you got fed up with the Bible.
When I got I just got, not with the Bible. I love the Bible. Let me be clear.
You were struggling to read it.
I was struggling. I talked about that earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. I struggled. It was just, I had lost this left because I was a Bible thumper. It was like, Everywhere I go, I was my Bible. I was always ministering, for always just in it. Like I lived it. I ate it. I sucked it up. I loved it. But it was just to the point things were not happening. I was unhappy. And I and it stopped working. It just seemed like it just didn't work anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I would pray and I felt like God was absent. And Jesus, I just thought and I just and I was going through a tremendous breakup and my heart was broken and I wanted God to heal me and he wouldn't, and I just was frustrated. And I said, I can't live like this. I can't live on the Bible. I can't, you don't work. When I cry, I'm giving my whole life to you. I gave up my street life. I gave up everything for you for years. And I don't ask for much, but the moment that I ask, help me with this, I gotta suffer. I don't need this. And that's when I just walked away. It was among other things because I was already feeling away. But what I didn't know is it was just another push to say, you gotta leave here. That's not where you belong. That's what's your thumping place. That's where you grew. That's where you learned. That's where you learned spiritual. That's where you got your new language. That's where you learned. And I realized it was greater because when I was a Christian, I could never read cards. Oh my God, that's blasphemy.
Yes.
Spiritual, you're talking about out of body astrology, you know, that's blasphemy. What?
Mm-hmm.
I had a vision. Visions, can't tell that vision in this church.
Even though it's all in the Bible.
I couldn't move. I was trapped. Let me teach. You might say something that's way outlandish. I was so stifled, and I had all this knowledge from studying and eating and drinking, and not only mentioning my life. Remember, this was a life I lived from the time I was 5 years old to my very age today, which is I am an older woman. I don't want to say my age. But the point is I'm older. So I've been around. Look, my daughter's 25. So you know, 25?
Yes, 25.
25. So you know I'm up there, right? I'm not that up there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So anyway, I decided. So after going through all this, I had to be for my own sanity. For my own sanity. Like one of the things I struggle with, when you love somebody, say you have a son.
Okay.
But you love your son.
Mm-hmm.
But your son, you know, y'all separated somehow and you love your son. You do anything for your son, but your son rebels against you. When do you say enough? When do you say, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, that's true.
When do you walk away? When you come down to Christianity, it always have you don't give up. You hang in there. Yes. You could be losing your mind. Hang in there. And I've learned you got to trust your insides. You know, it's just like when I was working and I tore my ligament. This is why my arm is like this. I was a workout fanatic. Well, okay, I wasn't a workout fanatic, but I was one that was caring about my body.
Yes.
So, but I was at the gym and they said, oh, I said, ow, it's stretched. They said, that's it. You feeling it. That's it. I was like, I can't. I dropped the weight. They said, it's exhausted. You'll be okay tomorrow. The next day, I could barely move my arm. We were in the mall. It got better. We was in the mall and we were shopping. Mm-hmm. And my arm just got like this with the bag. I couldn't carry it. Baby, I don't know if you remember it. Baby Cone had to carry the bags. I couldn't. It was aching. I went to the doctors. I made an appointment, suffering, and I had a torn ligament. And you know what he told me? If you don't work, he says, I don't know why people say that. He says, if you're working out, you're not supposed to hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to exert yourself. You tore a ligament. I was like, how long is going to take for it to heal? He was like, it could take 6 months to a year, longer, up to you. I was done. It was hurting me so bad that my arm, because I would get shots, but then they stopped giving me the shots. So it was just locked. It was starting to lock. But when I went to him, he said, you're never going to heal. it's going to lock like that. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you're not going to be able to move it. When he told me that, I just let him. He said, get therapy. I went to therapy. It was hard. It was a hard road. You have no idea what it's like. Maybe you do, but it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. It would, oh my God, I would be crying all the time, walking around. I couldn't eat. When it wasn't hurting, but it was hurting morning, noon, and night. And I don't take pain pills
That's
other
probably
than
how Scott
Tylenol.
Disick feels.
Couldn't eat, couldn't do anything. Just look at me. I'm rubbing it now. Let me stop. Whew, devil is a liar. But that's so if you are in pain, stop.
Yes.
Don't overexert yourself. If you're working out, don't work out till you in pain. That's no. And I said to, and it was so many of them bone doctors. I call them bone. What is the name of them?
Yes, osteopaths.
Well, not an osteopathic, but well, they deal with your bones. And I said, I didn't even know. I mean, they got a clinic. And I'm like, a big clinic with nothing but bones. They work on your thumbs, your fingers, your elbow, your knee. You got doctors for everything, your back, your spine, your brain. I'm in there and I'm seeing that this is so busy. And I can't even believe that they have these many doctors, like
yes,
everywhere I go. And I happened to ask the doctor, I says, I didn't know bones doctors, I can't think of the name, are busy like this. He says, a lot of people don't think that about us. He said, but you know what? Sooner or later, everyone will get to see the bone doctor. Because if you live long enough, you're going to suffer with your bones. You're going to suffer with your feet. You're going to suffer with your knee, your back, your shoulder.
Yeah.
You're going to suffer your fingers. Sooner or later, if you live long enough, you will suffer with it. But mine was an injury over my shoulder from overworking with weights.
Yes. They call them a doctor of osteopathic medicine, or DO.
Okay, she looked it up. I accept the osteopathic. I don't know about it. I never seen it. Is it another name? Or did you put in osteopathic? What do you call a doctor that specializes in the bones?
An orthopedic.
That's what it is, orthopedic. That's what I know. I didn't know orthopathic, orthopedic. That's it. Thank you, baby Chrome.
Yes. Somebody else, you have somebody else in the comments correcting me as well, said an orthopedic doctor.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
knew what
too.
it was, but I was like, no, baby, because that's just not right.
Got
That
you.
is not right. But
yes.
Go ahead.
So
I hope you're enjoying this.
Yes, we just need to recover any of the news that we want to talk about.
Oh, because I did talk about Lady Diana, but we can do a brief talk on Diddy.
Yes, we can.
Go.
Okay, well, what's going on with Diddy is that apparently he has 3 lawsuits against him, which is another reason why that the Homeland Security was able to raid his house as they did. Like he was a drug.
That was god awful. I've talked about this when, if you look at my videos, I said this was awful. They treated him like he was a drug dealer.
He technically was a drug dealer. I mean, Carisha was up there cooking up that pink stuff for him.
No, she wasn't cooking it. She was picking it up in his private plane.
Yes. So he was a drug lord.
I won't say that. I will just say allegedly.
Okay, allegedly.
Don't be trying to get us sued. We don't have no money over here like that.
Okay.
We got eating food money like we can eat.
Well, yeah, that is true. And Carisha, on the other hand, well, we're going to keep it on Diddy. So Diddy now has Little Rod, apparently, who first talked about how he was
his manager or something like that.
Yes, and now he is backpedaling and pussy popping.
He don't want to do it. You know what I think? I think that this is my own opinion. I don't know if anybody feels this way. I feel as though he just came out, everybody was coming out, and I think he thought that Diddy was going to give him hush money. Like he did Carisha. No, her name not Carisha. Her name is Cassie. And the reason why I truly believe he gave Cassie over the asking amount, it wasn't as much. It was about to keep her quiet, but it wasn't that because it was out already. It was already out. What are you paying her for? I think he paid her because I think a part of that was I'm sorry.
Okay.
I believe that. You don't have to, but I do. I believe a part of it was I'm sorry, and a part of it is to be quiet. Say no more. You haven't heard from her.
And that is honestly true.
Say no more. What do you think?
Yes.
Say no more. No media, nothing. What you said, but say no more. I truly believe that's what that was all about. Have you heard from her?
No.
Everything people they're getting court cases or the documents.
Yes.
Do I think Diddy is going to be indicted? If I'm right, look this up. I think indicted is when you get taken to court.
Yes, I think accused of a serious.
When you accused of a serious crime, you get taken to court. I think that's what an indictment is. Am I right?
Indictment.
Thank you, baby. That's okay. Right. Thank you. I do believe he's going to be indicted. Do I think he's going to serve time? I've been thinking about this because the undercurrent is there are a lot of people on the back that support him 100%.
Yes.
A lot. It doesn't appear to be that way, but he has got friends in high places.
Okay.
So this is what word on the curb. They ain't coming out. Tyrese came out, a few people.
Yeah,
and Tyrese gave me an idea to see it differently.
Okay.
He said they were the best parties. They were the best. I'm paraphrasing. You can't get mad. That man give a party and these people are there doing the freak. Okay, you can't get mad. However, if there are children or people there underage that they was bringing in,
yes,
I have an issue with that. But that is what they are trying to prove.
Yes.
Outside of his party, you can't condict. You can't. He can't go to jail because he beat her up or he raped her or can't say rape. Sorry about that. You can't beat her up because he took her unwillingly. To me, she stayed.
Yes, she did.
She didn't report anything. So
they all stayed.
And those that left. Yes?
Yeah.
So when I look at this, when I look at this and I see it, she got a good deal. She'll never have to work a day in her life. She just got to be mindful how she spent her money and don't get big head. $30 million could last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
And even save some for your children if you invest it right. Or just spend it right. But let your money make money, Have a store. Me, if I had money, I would have a bookstore.
Okay.
That's what I want. I want a big store with a lecture room. So I can give classes. I would give classes on so many things. I would give classes on astrology, tarot reading classes. I would teach the Kabbalah. I would just have reading. People can come in for readings. It would be counseling. I would give spiritual counseling to people. I would. I see it. I would have books and crystals. That's my dream. And I've had the money in my life many times. Not many, but several. At the time, I never even thought to do that. Just like I could have gotten a salon, but because of fear, me thinking I can't do it, it's going to be bigger than me. What if it fails? The thing I regret is I didn't believe in myself. What was it to take 100,000, 100 grand and open up a little bookstore? What was it to buy a little place and open up a salon?
Yeah.
But see what fear does? It's crippling. And that's what was wrong with Cassie.
Yeah.
Fear cripples. I was crippled because when you grow up and you hear the negatives, you just start thinking, I can't do it. Yeah. What if I fail? And you know what? Failing isn't that bad. Don't look at it as a fail. Just look at it, I tried. It just, I either learned from it or I didn't.
Fair enough.
But I tried. That's how I see it.
Yes.
So I don't sit back with regret. But if it's for me, it'll happen. That's what I'm learning. But right now, I got to learn how to use this Bible. to see. Well, I don't know how this is all going to work because I'm really into the tarot and I'm really trying to get to understand the magic part of the tarot. That's where I'm going. So, bye. And you know, Christianity said you better get the heck up out of here with that kind of thinking. And it's so sad because if you see it, it says tarot as a play of Torah. It's about the Torah and the new and bits of the New Testament. That's all this is, really. But you can't tell them that.
No, you definitely can.
They won't. My mother, she won't even look at my station. It's an abominable. And I says, let me help you, let me teach you. She says, I just stop. I don't ever want to be in a faith where I'm afraid to trust me.
Okay.
I don't want to be. I was there where I don't trust me, but I'm looking outside of me for the invisible God. Everything is on the outer. You're looking in the clouds and the beyond for God. Trying to please and jump through hoops and live holy, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Because if you're not physically, you're mental. It's a war all the time. It's non-winning.
Yes.
And if you're hiding behind that, in my opinion, you're not living.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. It robs you of your life, in my opinion, because that's all you have, and you judge the world by it.
Yes.
And anything that comes different, if somebody said there are many Jesus, many ways, oh, that's a lie. You going to hell. Everything, just always ready to put people in hell.
Yes.
I mean, it
Hell's
gets
a very big place, apparently.
Yeah, you on bus hell? Wow, it's every hell, and I'm like, I can't. You know what? They say you gonna burn forever. You only lived on this earth for 100 years, and you gonna burn forever because you was an adulterer? Why would you serve a God like that? But see, that was one of the Elohims. One that he was mean. He killed people. He was a God of blood, thirsty. These are alien beings. I can't. They don't want to hear.
I mean, that pretty much sounds.
Do you know I'm into this so heavy? I hold back because I don't want to rock people, but they seem like gods to us. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
This is another thing. They talk about there were giants in the earth, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We got off of Diddy again. We're just going to do what we do at this point.
Okay.
We talk about gods in the earth, and they said that they were giants that walked the earth, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How can a giant, think about it, this 16, 22 feet male have sex with a little old girl? Can you see his appendage? I don't believe that. I believe that they were giants in the earth. Mm-hmm. And I believe that they could have been 13 feet, 16, but I believe that we were taller. I believe that we probably did look small. The Bible said grasshoppers. I don't think that we were, no. I do believe that we could have been 12 feet. Mm-hmm. We could have been 7 feet tall, and they could have been 16. I could see that. Yeah. I think everything was bigger. I think it was a tropical environment. I think everything was tropical, and and it wasn't raining. It was a mist. And so when you have that kind of mist in the earth, your lungs have to be developed to breathe in water. Mm-hmm. So therefore your lungs were bigger. And as they say, where Baby Crone and I want to move to, it's the South. They said that because it's tropical, that's why you have a lot of bugs. You understand? Weird bugs. So just imagine you in this misty place. Just think about being like in a rainforest. It's misty. Can you see the beautiful animals? Can you see all of this? Well, see, as us living in that, your lungs had to be the capacity to breathe. It was stifling. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because for me, it would cause me to have an asthma attack. Yeah. Because the air was dense with water, because it was water coming up from the earth, mist, and from the sky. So it was a mist So understand, animals were bigger.
Yes.
You understand? Animals were bigger. People were bigger. I hope that
Yes, somebody did make a comment saying, "You taught me that there was more than one Elohim." Thank you. You're right.
Elohim means many gods. Elohim. Elohims. There were many Elohims, many gods. But we call them gods, but they're beings in other parts of the universe and the stars and planets, and it's so much. This is where I'm at. But
Yeah.
I cannot live in this life and not feed my spiritual side. I would die of hunger. I will die of hunger. I nothing thrills me other than learning about the secret knowledge. And now that we're in the new age of Aquarius, these things are opening up.
Yes.
Get it while you can. Get the knowledge, because you already see they starting to put a stamp on something.
Yes.
You're starting to see they blocking stuff. You're starting to see now on this channel, you can't say certain things. It's censorship. We
Yes.
already know that England have a censorship.
Mhm.
In other parts of the world, there are censorship. We are more free. But in order for us to get along, America is trying to get a censorship going, along with a lot of other things.
Yes.
So as this knowledge is going out, and America fades more to Christianity.
Yes.
That's in God we trust. That is because we're going to become a cashless society. It's all working, and it's going to be a religious society. What it is, they shaking it out. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the secret. I don't know. But there's a new faith I truly believe is going to rise up. It'll be a mixture of Christianity, a mixture of Judaism and Islam. It would be a world religion. Go ahead. Ooh, I feel that. Go ahead.
So would it be like considered pagan, which goes more towards like the natural, like the whole world, we're all one universal energy, where like all the religions kind of become like one religion in a sense?
I don't even see how that could happen.
Okay.
Because there's so many differences. When I say that they will emerge, in other words, Christianity, okay, Judaism is the oldest. Christianity and Islam came from the Bible, Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, Judaism is a faith. It came from Kemet. It's old. It's ancient. It's from the diaspora. It's very, very old. It was in Egypt. It was a religion. It was a faith, but they call it different. It was from Kemet, but they took it and they made it. This is thousands of years ago. You understand? So they took the religion, made it their own, and they even said that, these Jews were slaves. But and I know these Jews were not slaves, at least not these white European Jews. They couldn't take the sun. Come on. They've been dropped dead of a heart attack or a stroke. Come on, working in the heat like that.
Yeah.
No, they were not blacks. However, what I do give the Jews, are they Jews? Yes, they Jews. Of course, the word was given to them to preserve it. They preserved it. And it was a Jew. However they got it, whatever, it was meant for them because they preserved it. And if they didn't preserve it, we wouldn't have it. Yeah. And the language, the Hebrew language, would be a dead language. Even though many people don't use it, it's still a language and it's been preserved. And I do think that people in Israel speak it. I know rabbis. I know where I went to church. Where I would go to synagogue, they spoke Yiddish. They spoke Hebrew. They read in Hebrew. I didn't understand it. They always had Hebrew class. The Torah, the real Torah is written in Hebrew. And some of them have Hebrew because they read from left to right. So in Hebrew, it's like Hebrew, and then they have a part, if you want, in English, but the Torah is in Hebrew. Mm-hmm. So, but and the Torah is only the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's all the Torah is the law. The rest is history, poems, and stuff like that. So it's just so much to learn on these things.
Yes, it is.
So That may be boring to some people. I tried talking about Diddy, but this is not when Baby Phone didn't show up. She would have showed up. She was late, but I got to thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I did talk about Lady Chrome, but this is where my mind leading me today. I feel like we have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I mean, we at least talked about the two major topics this month, which was Kate and Diddy.
And Diddy, and ending on Diddy, I do believe he's going to be indicted. I do. He gotta be. Do I think he's going to be charged?
That's the curious part, especially if he
My
records.
cards, please.
Yes, especially if he likes to record his little off sessions. I hope you burnt them tapes good, Diddy, and that there's no copies, and then nobody else has anything.
I hope you got rid of the camera and everything. They might can go in and get it. I don't know. At the end of the day, when I think about Diddy, and this is my, he had those parties, and yes, it was horrible. If long as they don't find anything where he was dealing with little kids, I'm good. Do what you want. Y'all grown. Y'all want to take the pink stuff. She want to work with you. But what I can say about Carissa, from what I understand, she stuck with him. That's character to me.
Sure.
Because if I love you, I'm not going to leave you because you want to bind unless you insist that I leave you.
That's like Queen and Slim, like through thick and thin.
Yeah. You talking about the movie?
Yes.
They both died at the end, didn't they?
I believe so.
They were shot to death. It was set up.
Listen, you'll take the fall for your man if you.
I don't want to take a fall for anybody. I don't want to live a life where what I'm saying here in this case, Carissa was a part of it.
Yes,
How deep? They said that she went and got this in this plane. She was a part of it. She said that she said that she did the golden shower. She liked it, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, is P. Diddy gonna get indicted? I'm gonna tell you what I see out these three cards. Baby, because you know I can't see that little dot.
That is Mercury and Virgo.
So we see Mercury and Virgo. This is what I see. This is the number 10. Am I right?
Yes,
You all know I don't like wearing my glasses, right?
Yes.
This is the number 10. So let me break it down for the way I see this. There's a number 10, and that number 10 is completion, meaning we have come as far as we can go with this. And we see a number 10. We see Mercury. When you see Mercury, Mercury is very hot, very fiery, very. And we see that in this picture that there are people with money. You see the money, you see the transaction. So you know that this is something going on. And even in this, you even see a child. Huh?
Sit your glasses.
I know I don't wear my glasses.
Okay.
You see you even see a child in this.
Mm-hmm,
you see a gathering.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to know. They can't do anything about that. Were their children? What was it?
Yes.
They trying to figure out, was it children involved?
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're trying to get.
That's all they care about.
This is what they care about, right? And in this, there is judgment. So I think he's going to be indicted. Is he going to get off? I see this is Saturn.
Yes.
Is that Leo. Saturn and Leo? So I see Saturn. Saturn is the father of judgment. Saturn is like Chokma on the wheel, on the
tree of life.
Tree of life. Thank you. And that is he's more gentle. He's there that you learn your lesson, but you learn it joyfully. Like he had a great time learning his lesson. It wasn't a bitter time when he was having his parties. Mm-hmm. So now Saturn is there to roost and say, have you learned the lesson? That Sagittarius or Jupiter allowed you to live your life. Have you learned the lesson? And now you see the conflict. This conflict is in his mind with all the energy, having to give an account, look back over. And you know, Leos, and this is a Leo on this, not saying he's a Leo, but the Leo energy is saying, I don't like to be embarrassed. Don't put me on the spot. I didn't really do anything wrong. And if I did, I didn't know. This is what Leo is doing. Don't take and put me out on blast. Don't embarrass me. This is where he's at. And the father is saying, which is Jupiter, no, not Jupiter, Saturn is saying the world is going to see. So it will be an indictment. Will he get judged?
Oh,
The Emperor shows up.
a lot of fire. Oh, in Earth.
In Earth. I think this is going to be fiery. I think that it's going to be the thing of this is going to be powerful.
Yeah.
If they thought Johnny Depp was,
Okay.
this is going to be so much stuff is going to come out. And is he going to my cards? I don't think they're going to have enough information to take him down.
Okay.
Only because here I see the Emperor. And the Emperor owns. He is his empire. So yeah, you can take my empire, but you're going to leave me as a man. So they're going to strip him. They're going to try to take everything. Make it where he's scared to walk the streets.
Yeah.
He's going to have it hard. So being a free man may not be a good thing. You understand?
Yeah.
Just as much as he is loved, he is hated.
Yes, that is honestly true.
So I see him. He knows that his life is never the same. You understand? And my thing is, you got R. Kelly. You got, I forgot the old man name. I'm not good with names. The comedian, the old Bill Cosby. You got Bill Cosby, right? You got, you getting them. They getting them. They taking them down. And to me, if they had anything, which I know that Beyonce husband Jay-Z, I want him to get his. Yes. I do. If we're going to pull it all down, time. But do I think he's going to walk? It looks like he will. And I can change. The cards can change. Yes. But for right now, I truly believe this is the cards are saying. You see judgment.
Yes.
You see the Emperor. They're going after his kingdom, right?
Yes.
And you see he's not going to be broke like he'll be broke to him, but he won't be broke like we know broke, okay? And we don't know broke like other people know broke. Al broke, people probably say, you broke? You know? Probably right. So broke is relative to who is broke.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So here I see a 9, and I definitely see, you got to read that. What is that?
Venus and Virgo again.
Venus and Virgo. So you know, Venus, Virgo, son and mother and son. You know Virgo. Tell me something about Virgo.
Yes, Virgos are really into like routines.
This is general, general.
Into routines and like getting things done in a systematic way and organizing things.
And I was born in the house of Virgo. You know, very homely, love, yes. Love kids, love nurturing. Virgos are nurturers.
Yes, anything that needs tending.
But they also like a good life. They like the good life. You know, what can I say? It's a lot of things I can say, but at the end of the day, because of this and because of Venus, I think that he's probably going to get off. I think it's going to be a touch and go. I really do. But I do think that they're not going to find enough to sentence him.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I got to go back. This is now. Cards change all the time. But right now, this is about, do I think he's going to be indicted? The cards say yes. Even though they haven't done anything, they haven't charged him with anything, they haven't called him for anything, him or his children. So yes, I do believe that this will happen, but time will tell. It's really a lot of friction going on, a lot of energy. This is a terrible time for him.
Somebody had asked, do we do personal readings?
Yes, I do. I
Yes,
really do.
There is always a link at the very bottom of every video that we do, even on our YouTube page.
We're going to start advertising it more.
Okay.
I was just thinking about maybe I should get a number or something. I don't know. I just don't have enough readings where I need that. But yeah, I definitely do personal
Yes.
readings. I
you
definitely
can always email us to find out more information about that. You can find our email at the description of any video or on the About tab on our YouTube page,
do.
as well as links to all of our other channels, as all of our other social medias, where you can also get in contact through us that way. But email is the best way to reach for personal readings.
And not only that, now you may listen, just listen carefully. I am doing readings for $10, however, but it's only with no more than 4 cards, maybe 5, 4 to 5 cards. I do a reading for $10, but it will be a nice reading, but it won't be a long reading, maybe like 15 minutes or something like that. I don't time readings. And sometimes I move by what the spirit is saying. So, and what you're asking, but I do not want, don't ask me if somebody going to die. I realize I'm not honest about that. I don't like it. You can ask me about your love life. You can ask me about your money problems. You can ask me, do I think Billy or Susie is cheating? I'm good for that. But anything, if somebody dying or is it going to be a war, I get so emotional that in spirit that I realize that I can't, I won't tell the truth. I have to say that about myself. I will lie. And it took me to do a reading to find out about twice to find out about myself. So I realized I don't want to do anything that's going to weigh me down. If you having problems with spirits and you suffer with demons, and you can call me for that. We can deal with all of that. But as far as death, I can deal with death, but I can't deal with if somebody going to die. Don't call me with that.
Yes, somebody said with your gifts, you could charge $100.
I can, but I got to get started. The thing is, it's so weird. You would think that I would advertise it. I don't know. I don't advertise, and I know I should, but I don't, because it's so sacred to me. Because I'm real. And if you come to me, I'm going to tell you now. Before I wouldn't. But if I saw something and I saw you was in danger, once I worked at the salon, and I was working in the hair company, and I think it was in Columbia, Maryland. And no, it was in Virginia, it was somewhere. And I was working in a mall, and I loved the job, and I brought my cards to work. This is years ago. And the lady asked me to read her cards. So I read her cards, but the towel kept coming out. And I kept on saying, something, I felt it. Something bad gonna happen to you. Get away from your boyfriend. Get away, get away, get away. I felt it so strongly. I said, get away. And we was trying to figure out, people were in the salon, people in the back, where we were eating, and they was trying to figure, do you know the next day she came and her face was torn off? Her dog did it. And you know what she said to me? It was my dog.
With a whole attitude.
With a whole attitude. It was my dog. She came to work like that. Bandage. I was mortified. And I don't think I worked long a day after that.
I wouldn't blame you.
And my boss said, no more tarot readings in here. I got blamed. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
See why I'm nervous? See why I'm nervous to tell the truth? You know, the guy, when I told the woman, his wife, when I lived in Vegas and I told her that I didn't see anything, do you know he threatened my life? Do you know he told me that I took their baby? I'm like, see, that's what happens when you see. So I'm leery about things like that. And this is another story. I used to go to a reader here in Maryland many years ago, and I heard that this woman was decapitated. I was stunned. She was the one that, at the time I was like, I don't really have the money, because she was like, I want you to come. I really want to work with you. I wish I had her at the time, but she was a real gypsy woman. And this particular day, she was the one who told me, she says, when you leave out this, she says, I see just out of the random blue. She says, I see a lot of people for you. I said, a lot of people. She said, yep, you're going to have a lot of people that's following you, that looks up to you. This is so long ago. And she said, I also see a marriage and I see you getting married. I was like, me getting married, and it was so mind-blowing. And when it's so off like that, you don't believe it. So coming, and she said it'll probably be around March. My mother got married in March. Okay. And she said that I would have a following. Well, how am I going to get a following? YouTube.
Yes. Years.
Years before
later.
Where was a YouTube? Before there was. And do you know it took me forever to come? Because I was afraid. I'm telling you, fear is an itch.
Yes, it's low vibration.
It's very low. Don't let fear cripple you like I did. It robbed your years. Take a chance. Believe in yourself. Learn about it. And even though I'll study things, when it comes down to moving now, I mean, I can move all over, you know? I can move all over. I can do things, but when it come down for like saying I want to start a business, now I would, yeah. But when I could have, I didn't, because I was so used to hearing the negativity. You sure you can do that? You think that's the right? I don't know. And you just get frightened. Like, you know? I was already told by my mom, you mess up, you can't come home. So it's like, well, I better not take a chance on that, because if I get, you know, it was horrible. But, you know, anyway, all I'm saying to you is don't allow fear to cripple you like it did me. And like it did, what's her name? Cassie.
Yes.
Don't let fear stop you from being honest. And don't let fear stop you from living out your dreams. It will do that. It's evil, and it's there to hold you in hostage. It is there. It is your way. It's your body's way of helping you cope with your own fears. So it says the best way to cope, don't do it. Don't do it. Stay away from it. Ooh, it's the boogeyman. It's going to get you. You're going to be broke. You're going to have no money. Don't do it. It's there to protect you. It's not trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. It's living out that fear you have. You fearful? I got you, babe. They are forces. They're all around you. How do you know? You know, people say, well, how do you know? If you're sitting down and you're not talking and there's a thought in your head, well, there you go. You know it ain't you, right? Have you ever just been like, never thought of that? Yeah, right, because it wasn't you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's you when you're talking. Or if you're thinking. So when you're thinking, who is answering your thoughts? You got to think about these things.
Yes.
Who? If it ain't you, you're thinking. Thinking to who? Thinking to what? There is an energy field beyond this that can see your thoughts, hear you,
Yes.
answer. And I wouldn't have believed it, but I've had many out-of-body experiences where I've seen my body, but I've always been petrified to go move. Petrified. When I see that, I'm like, it's like, you know, it's like everything is translucent. Like you can't grab anything. You see yourself like literally hovering. And I was told, and this is probably why I have those fears, because I was told if you go far from your body, you'll never come back. And I was like, I don't want to die. But you're not even in that body. That's so creepy, right?
Yes, it is.
You're looking at it. It's like you, but you're not in the body, and you're translucent. Nobody can see you, but you can even see through you. But you can kind of see you. Is that weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
And so it's trippy. So you go to move and you rise up, and I was getting ready. And when I look, it's always something there to say, look back. Things look different. They're the same, but it's different. I'm telling you, these dimensions are real. You just don't know how to tap into them. And that's what I'm learning, because I believe that we have the power of heaven inside of us. I truly believe that we are little gods. Why? Because our creator was a God. are gods. We were created. And if we were created and we were created in their image and after their likeness, then we have power too. It's just the greed of the world, the seven deadlies shadowed that from us. So you wouldn't be able to do it. It was a way to keep it calm, so we can, if I keep you afraid, you'll never use it. You'll never want to go in the dark. I'll have you scared. Why? In order to get any of this, you got to be willing to go through the dark. You got to go through the spooky places. And then you realize they're not spooky at all. You're just ignorant and you haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
And many of you have had sleep paralysis. Oh my God, I used to suffer with them so bad. Oh my God. Oh. Until one day, and it seemed like every time I talk about it, I have one, but one day, a woman told me years ago, she said, Monica, the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. I said, so when I'm like this, she said, just stop fighting. I know nobody never told me that. So when it happened, I was nervous and I just said, I'm gonna stop fighting. I'm gonna stop fighting. Battle not mine. Because you be hearing. Because whatever way you end, you can't swallow, you can't move, you can't open your eyes, you can hear. If the TV is on, you can see things. It's crazy.
It is.
It's you in another dimension. And part of your body is sleep, but you awake. You can't swallow, you can't move, you're like paralyzed. You can't, or you be flooding and trying to open your eyes. And so when she said that, I just went back to sleep. And then I woke up like, and then I'm like, but now I don't get them as often because I don't fear them. Not anymore. Not like I used to. And it seemed like fear keeps them coming. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do understand because at least during the times where I've had sleep paralysis.
You had sleep paralysis?
Yes, I have.
And you ain't shared?
I
This is
mean,
the first time I'm hearing it talk.
Nothing's never really happened except just the fact that I'm nervous or afraid because I can't like move my body and I'm just like, oh my God, my body's paralyzed. But like it's still like in a dark room, I like don't see anything. But like I try to like get myself to like move in my sleep. And then like when I finally I just like slowly then like you say, just relax.
Just relax.
I go right back to sleep.
And you'll get up.
Yep, and then when like my body's finally up, I try to like move myself into a different position. I'm like, maybe this will help me.
Right.
If I go back to sleep in the same position,
it'll happen again.
You gotta like move out of the position. You gotta move out the
position. Right. Right.
Yes.
So you understand sleep paralysis?
Yes, I do. I don't. Thankfully, I haven't had the sightings of sleep paralysis, just the paralysis.
Yeah, I've had, well, I mean, I can't say that because I'm an intuitive. So, in my sleep paralysis, I've been tried to be attacked. I have tried to be taken advantage of. And I was under the impression when I first dealt with my sleep paralysis, I thought that you're supposed to fight them devils. I was be like, Satan, you're a liar. In the name of Jesus, I'll come up against you. You are a liar in my soul, in my spirit, because I can't move. I can't move, but I can talk. I would be like, you are a liar. Come, I've been fighting in my spirit. I'm sleep. But I be fighting like a mofo, okay? You are a liar. You are a cheater, a liar. You know good. He would talk and say, you know what? That's why you can't move. That's right, I can't move. But you better not. I would be like warring until I wake up. And then I got to the point I would war. I would be like, oh, so we this? When I realized, because you'll wake, you'll know you in it. Am I right? You instantly know you're stuck.
Yeah, you do. If you go try to move and you realize your body hasn't.
You realize, right? So when sometimes I'll go, this is what it used to do this. First I said, I'd be like, oh, so we here. Yep, you here. They would talk to me. Yep, you here. And I would be like, I ain't for it. I ain't for it. I said, see, you can't trip me out. You can't trip me out. They would mimic everything I say. Oh, it was awful. But then I would be like, that's okay. Because I just knew that there were evil forces. And at the time, I just knew Satan. So I would be like, you lying, Satan. You don't fear me. You don't fear me. God is greater than you. Greater, you lying devil. Get the hell out of here. I can't stand you. I would just be, and it would just leave. I would just be in battle. They would mimic me. They would hit me or act like they trying to open my leg. It'd be, shoot. And I just, go ahead, baby, go.
Somebody asked, so is sleep paralysis really a demon?
No.
It can be scientifically proven. Your brain has consciously woken up.
And your body is still asleep.
Yes, because it's still in that REM sleep.
It's still in REM.
In like deep consciousness where all your body is like not like responding to your brain's messages because it's all shut down. So.
The only difference is for me, because I am intuitive. So I can see, I can hear, I'm in the room. Remember, I can float about my body. So I'm in it. That's my gift. So if you are afraid, I'm just saying, if you have it, just go back to sleep. If you will, just it's hard because you're going to freak out. But I've been getting these things. This is how I know I'm special. I've been getting these sleep paralysis ever since I was 5 years old. I didn't even know they can happen to little children. Matter of fact, I think one of the Kardashians, what's her name?
Chloe?
Not Chloe. Kylie. Oh. Not Kylie. Kendall. Kendall would get them. So they are real. But you got to know that you just got to allow yourself to go back to sleep. Just relax. And just know I'm gonna be okay. Just go back to sleep or do what I do. Lies. You're not talking,
right?
But you talking in your mind. The TV could be like, lies. That's my favorite. Lies. I don't believe you. You can't scare me. I serve the most. I be going off. Honestly, I'm not lying. You can't hear it because it's spiritual. I'm still in the bed. I'm still in. You know that, right? You can hear it. It's like I be laying them. I mean, I don't use profanity, but I be just angry. Like I'm angry. I'm in this place. I'm angry. I can't swallow. I'm thinking, what if I throw up? What if I'm thinking negative? It gets you crazy. So when I'm feeling that way, I just thought I don't suffer with it now. I would say things. Oh, I had to find some real wood. There we go. I would say things like, real wood. I would say things like, call it superstition, right? But because I feel like I'm conjuring right now, but I'm only sharing this because this has happened to me. So I used to live this ever since I was 5, and I was in that haunted house, which one day I'm gonna talk about it. But nevertheless, these are the things that I've been going through all my life. I don't even know what it's like not to not have a thought in my head. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what is it like when you ain't hearing somebody talk. When I'm quiet. I even went to the doctors one time, to the therapist, and they said, do you hear voices? I said, all the time. Not voices, like, not nothing like that, but thoughts. I hear thoughts. And she said, you hear voices? I said, well, they're thoughts. And she says, how do they make you feel? It's normal. Just normal. You understand what I'm saying? If you've been this way all your life, you learn to adapt. Mm-hmm. But when I was a little kid and I was possessed by that woman, her name was, what was her name? Her name was, do you remember her name?
Did it have something to do with a Daisy?
Yes. What's her name? Daisy. It was, I can't think of her name. She don't even want me to remember the name. It was Miss Daisy. No, what's Miss Daisy? Mama Daisy. It was Mama Daisy. And she owned the house that my grandmother, my mother's mother, had. And she died. And that's how the house got haunted. And apparently she couldn't have children. And there you have it. I'll start the story one other time. Maybe when I do one of these, I'll go into it a little bit. This was really good. Baby Crone, I did this. I hope you all
Yes,
enjoyed that.
this
Give
is the
gobbledygook.
longest live we've had
How
done
long is
before.
it?
And literally going on 2 hours.
2 hours of
Yes.
us just talking.
I guess of us talking about ourselves and a little bit of Diddy and Kate Middleton.
Right. Well, when you was late, it threw me off, and I
Sorry.
figured I just couldn't even get into talking with it without you. So I just said, you know what? Fine. Well, this is 2 hours of give gobbledygook. I hope you enjoy it.
Yes.
It was. I tried to talk. I did talk about Kate, and I did talk about other things. However, if you want a reading, please, I'm doing $10 readings. It's not about the money. It's about me getting my feet wet, and it's about me getting out there. If you want a reading, please make an appointment. Please,
Yes.
please. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You know, I think you'll be satisfied. I do spiritual readings. I'm very intuitive, you know. So if you want a reading, you know, all you got to do, just be real with me. There are things I'm going to want to know, like I'm going to want to know your sign.
Yes.
You know, that's important to me. What else I'm going to want to know? I just want to know, if you're going to come and you're going to spend your $10, then make the best of your $10. But you're going to get like 15 minutes or something like that. But for me, if I feel as though this is deep, I'm going to just keep going because I can't turn the spiritual work off.
Right.
Because if you're coming for a reading, this is me. I'm a spiritualist. So if you coming to me, you coming because you have a problem. And when you leave, I want to know I gave you some peace about it.
Yes.
That's what I'm about. I'm not here to tickle your fancy. I'm going to be honest with you. I promise you that. You know, and it can be a little daunting for people.
Yes.
Because people say they want to hear the truth, but they don't always want to hear the truth. You may say, is my husband cheating? And I say, yes. Because if I say yes, that's because I felt that thing. I feel it. And I had to learn to trust what I feel because it doesn't lead me wrong. I also have to trust sometimes when the spirit show me something in the spiritual realm, I have to learn to trust it. It's intuitiveness. You know, I practice all the times with the cards.
She does.
Because sometimes I can't even believe myself that, oh my God, I was right. But it's a growing process. And as I get more and more and more into Kabbalah, I will know how to reach Uriel.
Yeah.
With that gives me peace. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this reading. We were on 2 hours. I never stayed on this long, but I was on for about a moment by myself. So when you came on, I wanted to stretch it out a little bit more. So it was all good. We never stayed on this long before. We always give ourselves maybe an hour, hour and a half. Yes. However, when people start calling in, if you want to call in and ask for a reading on the air, you only have to give your name. Just give me your zodiac sign and let me just read. I'll be gentle. I promise. What else you got to lose? Nobody sees your face. Nobody knows. You could ask, what is it? You give me something to do. This time we set once a month, the last Saturday of every month aside so we can be here for you and nobody eats it. People show up though.
Yes. More
Thank
people
you.
are starting to show up slowly each time we go live.
And this is the longest. That's because I'm going on I went spiritual today. And let's see how this play. Because if you want spiritual, baby,
You got you.
I got you. You tell me what you want me to talk about. I talk about anything. I talk about the Anunnakis. I'll talk about aliens. I'll talk about whether the world is round or flat. Okay. Did they go to the moon or not? I will talk about those things. Fascinate me. Were there real giants in the earth? You know, yes. Want to talk about Noah Ark? Do I believe that story is real? Do I believe Jesus? Come on, you want to know? Hey, on those days, call up and put in your questions. Yes. If I know, I'll answer. If I don't, I tell you I don't know. I go to the cards if I can. So, or baby can pull it up on the computer. We got you covered. So we enjoy this time. We really opened up this time. Yes, we've been doing it. This is just me throwing stuff against the wall to see what will make people come and speak and ask.
Yes.
I don't know, but I'm not giving up. I'm here for you. Once a month, I'm here for you. Every Saturday out of the month. This time is set aside for you to call. You could talk about what you want. You know what? If it was me and I knew that there was a station that I could call in and vent, I would call in and vent. I would call in and be like, yeah, could you answer this? Because I'll sit down. You could talk on air. I love it. It's
Yes.
for you. So you can get to know me. So this is me. I've been on the air going on 3 years, and this is the first time I talked about myself to this degree. And yet, that ain't nothing. That's just a little. My whole life is spiritual. These stories are recent. Some of them are old, but none of them are about when I was 5 years old. The hell I went through. And with that being said, Baby Chrome, is there anything else you want to say?
Nope, not at all.
I certainly enjoyed this. I hope that you enjoy this. I really do. Um, I'm just happy to be doing this.
Yes.
And I'm happy that you all showed up.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
it means so much to us. And I hope that one day you could feel comfortable enough to call in. So with that being said, you ready, Baby Chrome?
Yes.
Sunflowers.